Yo, it's episode 11 of the NASCAR Pit Stop Show, and as just like last week, Wyatt is not on his phone to start off the thing. And Sean is back after kind of spending some time away with family. Very understandable though, but yep, they're here. Taylor right now is kind of absent. I'm not sure where he's at, but he's probably busy on the farm. I don't know, but he's probably busy with something. But you know what? It's fine by us. It's totally understandable. But yeah, episode 11 of the NASCAR Pit Stop Show, and we're going to be reviewing and grading the Atlanta weekend, and it was all right. It actually wasn't too bad. Actually, I didn't even watch any of the races because I was just so busy with other things in personal life. But I did manage to watch some highlights, and I did hear about the winners and some of the fallout of the races. So I'm probably just going to let you guys go ahead and explain your thoughts of what you thought about the Atlanta weekend and which race you thought was your favorite one.
Well, to start off, I'm trying to think because I know I watched all the Cup Series and I know I watched all the Xfinity Series. I'm trying to think if I at least I know I watched some of the trucks. The races were pretty good. We did have a leech to start off the week. Yeah. We had a couple of surprising winners. So far, this is pretty good. We had some incidents. This was actually I'd say a really good Atlanta race than we've seen in a good couple of years, especially like the Cup and Xfinity Series.
Mm-hmm.
Sean?
I'm kind of like Elijah. I didn't watch any of the NASCAR races this weekend. I only saw the highlights, but I thought the Cup Series was interesting, to say at least, because even though Kyle Larson dominated most of the race, Ryan Blaney pulled out of nowhere and actually did pretty well, pretty unexpected, to say at least.
He was running up there. I will say this. He was running up there. He got third in stage 1, second in stage 2, and winning the race. So he was slowly creeping up there. He was up. He did run pretty good. I believe I did mention Ryan Blaney when we were talking about the predictions last week, didn't I, Elijah?
No, none of us even brought up Ryan Blaney. So honestly, I feel like the last 6 races the driver that eventually went on to win, we never even brought him up in our driver to win or dark horse picks for Cup at least. But honestly, wait. Go ahead.
I'm not so sure about that, Elijah, because you mentioned like none of us like picked one for like drivers of dark horse, but I believe we've at least had one be picked for like a dark horse or something. The one that pops in my head on like for Cup Series, what you mean is like I think Xfinity may have been one, or just like
no, I was talking specifically.
I know Cup, but like Cup, I think I meant to say Xfinity, but not like Homestead, or just like Vegas even. I mean, we've had some surprise. We've had some surprise up there. So there's some that don't. There's a lot of surprises, but I think we've mentioned some in any of our predictions about kind of the winners with the dark horse. So
no, I don't think we did. But honestly, going back to the Cup race in Atlanta, I did hear about Larson dominating the thing, and honestly, seeing as how he dominated Atlanta and also dominated Vegas, I'm thinking that mile and a halfs are going to be a big advantage for Kyle Larson, especially since he's paired up with Hendrick Motorsports equipment. But Ryan Blaney, though, popping up out of nowhere, this is his first mile and a half track that he's won in the Cup Series. Okay, so he's won Pocono, he's won the Roval, he's won both Talladega races, fall and spring, in 19 and 20. So this is actually the first track that he's won at that is less than 2.5 miles.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's really good. I mean, I feel like Blaney is starting to kind of get a little bit... Obviously, he's started to get very, very comfortable over at Penske, and I feel like the that he's probably going to start winning a little bit more races now, instead of just winning surprisingly at Talladega, of all places. But you know,
to add on to that, he's still winning. He's still surprising us with wins.
he is. He is still surprising us with wins. I honestly didn't see him winning Atlanta anyway, but by gosh, he popped up out of nowhere. So I'm not going to review the top 10 for all three of the races, just to save time, and also because of the fact that over here in Michigan, temperatures have started to warm up. So therefore, this computer that I have is going to start acting like an oven, and it's going to heat up the room, and then eventually it'll get overheated, and it'll shut down, and I have to start the freaking thing over. So I'm just going to go ahead and move into grading, and I'm going to start off with Sean Arndt. If you could give this weekend a grade between A and F, what would it be and why?
Okay, so really, I thought it was just a good weekend. Normal Atlanta racing, even though everyone complains about the surface. So I thought it was all good. And to me, the grade I'm going to give it is an A-.
Oh, okay. All right. Wyatt, what you got?
Well, I kind of agree with Sean there for a bit because the race were exciting. Truck race was pretty good. A couple drivers were running up there trying to catch Kyle Busch. There was a couple drivers who did, but none of them could end up catch or pass Kyle Busch. So that's a Leach win, unfortunately. The first of many, sadly. Xfinity was pretty good. Truex dominated. Yes, you're going to hear me talk crap about leeches, especially next week.
Wow. You want to know something? I'm so surprised that you like Truex, but you just called him a leech.
I mean, the funny thing is, if he would have won Atlanta, I would have called him a leech. No joke.
But he was still a leech.
Yes, he's still a leech. Still a leech. But Truex did dominate the race, and I thought he was going to be the one to beat. I didn't think he was going to do all that well, but then he surprised me, and Allgaier out of nowhere ended up he ran with Truex, and he ended up beating him, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then you got the Cup Series. Larson dominating the thing, and then Blaney out of nowhere. I'm going to give it a step up. I'm actually going to give it an A. Because we've had some exciting finishes, some drivers we had unexpected. This is a pretty good one. I'll give it an A.
Alrighty.
Host?
Host, as I said, did not watch any of the races because of things going on in his personal life. But I did, obviously, as I said, I heard about the fallout and I heard about what happened in each race. But I'm going to go ahead and say, since the racing itself was actually pretty gosh darn good from what I heard, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to stay in the A category, and I'm just going to go ahead and get this an A-, because, racing-wise, at Atlanta Motor Speedway with the incredibly old pavement, it does spell for some pretty good racing. I mean, that's just my personal opinion, but you know what? That's how it be.
Also, I forgot to mention, ended up having some good pit road incidents.
Oh yeah, some really good pit road incidents. One that I can really note is Anthony Alfredo. And, oh yeah, another one that I think you were going to bring up was the Noah Gregson Daniel Hemrick incident.
I was actually mainly thinking about the Anthony Alfredo one, to be honest with you, but that one was in the back of my mind. I knew that. That's already a topic we're going to talk about. So
that is a topic.
That was already something we were going to get there eventually, but the Alfredo one just like...
Yeah, that Alfredo one, honestly, it's just like, what just happened?
What?
But alrighty, guys, we're going to go ahead, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back with you to go over some of the topics that we've got here, so stick around, folks. We'll be right back. And we're back for episode 11 of the NASCAR Pit Stop Show. As always, Elijah Leonard, the host. Top right, Wyatt Walker. Top left, Sean Ard. And here we go with some of the topics that we've got here. We're wasting no time on these, by the way. So, I wanted to bring up the first thing that I wanted to discuss, and I brought this up earlier before the commercial break, was the Noah Gragson, Daniel Hemrick incident that happened on pit road. So how this all started, how this all unwound, basically, was Gragson tried to get into his pit, so was Daniel Hemrick. Hemrick overshot his pit. Gragson was trying to get in his pit. So then Hemrick ends up backing into his pit, and then Gragson tries to get in his pit, but he's a little too far off, so he tries to back into his box. He goes too far back. He hits the front end of Daniel Hemrick's car, and then eventually he gets into his box. And then eventually after that carried on into post-race where Hemrick was doing an interview for PRN, and all of a sudden, not Hemrick, Gragson was doing an interview for PRN, and all of a sudden here comes Daniel Hemrick strutting down pit road, and he's got some words. He doesn't have just words. He's gonna give Noah Gragson these hands. He's gonna throw hands with him, and then they just both start fighting. So I want to give your guys' I want to get your guys' intake or thoughts on this, and what was going through your mind between the time that the pit road incident occurred and then to the time where it carried on into post-race with that fight?
Well, I don't think I remember seeing the whole pit road incident, but I thought it was something that happened on track I didn't know about. But when at the end of the race, when the guy was doing his burnouts and stuff, I kept seeing replays, and I saw what happened. I kind of understood Hemrick's frustration. But here's my thing, though. This is where I'm 50-50 between whose side. I know you didn't mention, whose side you would choose, but if we had to choose sides, I'm 50-50 because, yes, Gragson backed up the Hemrick and make him frustrated and stuff, but Hemrick went to Gragson while he was in an interview to talk to him.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, I guess NASCAR is talking about penalties for what he did on pit road, but why not the penalty for Hemrick? We were trying to almost start a fight when an interview was about to happen, and then Gragson was more swinging than Hemrick because Hemrick was trying to talk, but just I don't know. I mean, it's hard to choose. It's hard to decide.
That's right.
What's your take, Sean?
Well, that was just surprising just to think that how just one little incident on pit road creates a whole kind of fight after the race. And when I saw the highlights, they were talking to Martridge Jr. on the FS1 side, and then they show the fight, and it's don't know what that's all about, and then shows all the replays. It was just kind of confusing, and actually NASCAR wasn't even going to give out any penalties between either driver for that, which is kind of doesn't make any sense to even.
See, the thing is, I feel like that they should have just given the penalties to both of them, because here's why. Because first of all, yes, Gragson did back straight into Hemrick, which I feel like that I don't know if he did that on purpose or if he just kind of misjudged trying to get into his box or whatever. But he should have been penalized for contact on pit road. However, Hemrick should also be penalized because he literally went up to Gragson on an interview and he grabbed him, and that's what ultimately ended the whole thing. The whole interview, that is, and that's what started the fight. So, I mean, it's kind of it's sort of a double standard. Do you choose the side of Gragson? Do you choose the side of Hemrick? When in actual reality, they both should be penalized, but since they don't have any penalties whatsoever that have been put on both of them, I mean, I don't really understand that at all,
No, it really doesn't. It they should both get like some sort of penalty because of that? Because that was ridiculous either way on both sides.
And it's not sportsmanlike either. I mean, it's definitely not sportsmanlike to to just back into somebody and then just try to make up a story about it. But it's also not sportsmanlike to walk up to somebody on an interview and just grab them and yank them by the collar or whatever Hemrick did on the post-race interview with PRN. And that was caught on camera too. So,
it makes me wonder why they just went ahead and tried to go and do penalties to Gregson. And why not Hemrick? I like Hemrick, don't get me wrong, but even I can say Hemrick should have gotten somewhat penalized for something like that.
He should have, but he didn't.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I like Hemrick. I really do like him a lot. He has vastly improved this year since moving to Joe Gibbs, but he should have been penalized for that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 100%.
Same for Gregson, too. I mean, I like the kid, but he also should have been penalized for his actions.
I want to bring this up. Apparently it's not just other drivers who's not a fan of Joe Gibbs Racing, but looks like we can add Noah Gregson to that list because that's 2 drivers from Joe Gibbs Racing he has fought.
Wow.
First, Harrison Burton at Kentucky, and now Hemrick here.
In Atlanta.
What, we're going to add Ty Gibbs or, hell, his old boss, Kyle Busch, or Brandon Jones?
Brandon Jones, or like, say he kind of gets into something with Truex.
Well, I think this is only a one-off for Truex.
I mean, like, I don't know if that's going to be a one-off, if this is a one-off for Truex, or if he's going to have more races added on to his Xfinity Series resume. I don't really know. None of us know, other than we all know that he's going to be in the truck this weekend, so, that's all. That's as far as...
Albino Leach.
Yeah. One of 7 leeches reported for the truck race, but you know what? It hopefully is going to be okay. But anyways, let's move on to the next topic here. Sean right now is absent, but we'll get his opinions on this later. But if you go back to a few episodes ago, if you go back to last year's edition of the Pit Stop Show, there was some news on Brad Keselowski getting a contract extension for Team Penske. And this was supposed to be for an extra year over with the team. However, though, Roger had said something about possibly giving him a contract extension. He teased about it, that a possible contract extension is on the horizon for Brad Keselowski. So, Wyatt, I'm going to ask you, do you personally think that Brad Keselowski should get a contract extension with Team Penske?
Absolutely, because he's been doing I mentioned this last year, he's been doing so well with Team Penske ever since he's gotten there from 2011 if I remember it correctly.
2010.
Was his first year. 2010.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 2010. He's been with the team for a couple years now. He's won a championship back in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
He's won a championship with them, and he's won races. He's done really good about almost everywhere. There's still some tracks I think he should work on, try to get wins, but last year was a kind of a breakout because he was already, at that point, he was trying to look for a ride. He got the extension. I think we both agreed he should have gotten more, and this is his chance to get a more farther extension of what he needed. So in my books, he deserves this. He really deserves this. So I'm gonna say this will be great for Keselowski.
And this is an opportunity for him to actually get that contract extension that he personally probably is feeling right now that he deserves.
Absolutely.
Because, if you go back to last year, I think he got like 3-4 wins last year, which, all in all, not too bad. But I don't agree with the contract extension for 1 year. He should have gotten more, like 2 or 3 years, top.
Yeah.
But, maybe this year could be the year that he gets that 2 to 3 year contract extension. I mean, like, who really knows?
Because Penske is his home. He's been having some great success here.
Mm-hmm.
He's found a home with Penske. He's done really well with Penske. I don't see why he would leave. Like Roger Penske would give up the extension to have Keselowski, because he's a good driver. He made it to the championship 4 last year.
Exactly.
He made it to along with his teammate Joey Logano.
And they would have had a really good shot at winning the title too.
Exactly. And he surprised us that race. I forgot where he finished. I think he was like second, third. I don't remember, but I meant in the championship.
Well, yeah.
But all in all, he deserves it. More than a year. I fully agree with 2 or 3, maybe 4. If he's lucky. Damn cat.
God, I love cats. I thought your dad just opened the door.
No, it's either my dad, cats, my sister. I don't know, man.
I'm just laughing that your sister popped on the show. Make a cameo appearance. And Wyatt's Cat's making a cameo appearance. Hey, let's go. Oh, there's Sean.
Sorry. Hey, there's another cat making a cameo.
Think Sean's on the verge of quitting his job.
Quit.
Well, it's just me and you again. Me and you, Taylor. He quit. Okay. I'm kidding. Anyways, we got a question for you, Sean.
What's the question?
There is a possibility floating around that was teased by Roger Penske that Brad Keselowski could have a contract extension on the horizon. So, do you think Brad Keselowski is deserving of that contract extension?
I think so. I think Brad's been one of the good drivers there at Penske. He's kind of one of the top 2, besides with Joey Logano.
Yeah.
So, I think if Roger Penske does give Keselowski a contract extension, that would be cool. That would be good for Keselowski there.
Okay. That is a good thing. Alright. So now let's bring this up, and I want to get your guys' input on this, because I already put in my take on NASCAR Hot Take, which if you haven't seen that episode, episode 14, go check it out. That's a high recommend. I upgraded on editing and also my set and stuff. So it was a really good episode to do. But anyways, that episode was based on 2311 of Trackhouse, how they've been doing throughout the first 6 weeks, and I've actually been tallying up points of how they've been doing. Points wise, it's 2311 that's doing good, but consistency, however, it's Trackhouse. And if you actually take a look at the point standings for both of the teams within the first 6 weeks, you'll notice that Trackhouse has been kind of having a consistent role. But however, though, the reason why 2311 is doing so good in that little points bracket is because of their performance in the Daytona 500, of how super good that they've been doing. So, I want to ask you guys, which team do you both personally think has been doing the best between 2311 and Trackhouse?
You want to say ours at the same time, Sean?
Yeah, let's do one at a time, because I think it would be confusing saying it at the same time.
Unless ours is actually the same.
I don't know if ours is the same.
All right, then I guess I'll start. 100% for me, Trackhouse. Trackhouse has been on a roll lately with some great finishes. Besides the Daytona 500, I feel like if they would have raced longer, didn't get caught up in a wreck, they would have been probably in contention for the win. They've been running really good. Best race so far was back in Atlanta. They were running top 10, showing up. They've been running. They've been being, like you said, consistent. And I really think Trackhouse is doing a whole lot better than 2311, who their only good finish was in Phoenix. Best finish, I forgot where they were. I think it was six. I'm probably wrong. 16th.
Yeah, they finished 16th both times at
Yeah.
Atlanta and Phoenix.
Well, and despite Suarez getting the penalty and dropping him back from Atlanta, he had a really, really good car. Probably not a winning car, but a top 10 at least. That would have been really good for Trackhouse. I'm really, really looking forward to see how well Trackhouse does. Because in the beginning, I was leaning more towards 2311, seeing how well they would do. But it's coming to be Trackhouse's show. I believe I mentioned it's like I feel like Trackhouse is going to bite me in my butt for saying 2311, and they are proving it.
Mm.
Sean?
You know what? I gotta agree. Trackhouse has been providing some really good racing. I didn't think they would have had this sort of success with consistency throughout the first 6 races, but they've proven a lot of people wrong here, and just how we may be thinking how they could be doing for the rest of the season with how Suarez has been able to drive those cars really well. I would see them probably keeping up with their finishes and maybe improving on it, and maybe even getting closer to getting like a higher top 10 or maybe even a top 5 finish.
They're
So we
going...
should-
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was about to say something funny like, hey, we should have set our votes on at the same time, huh?
I
had
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Trackhouse.
Trackhouse.
Yeah. Jeez.
Watch Elijah end up being. I honestly didn't see the video, but watch Elijah's gonna be the oddball out. 23.
Oh no.
Nah.
See,
You agreed with us, didn't you?
See, the thing is that I mean, when I was doing that, when I did the hot take episode and kind of calculated the points, and just reviewed where both of the teams finished in each of the first 6 races, it's pretty clear to me that, I mean, like, race-wise, they're both kind of running the same. They're running very, very, very similar. But honestly, if I had a personal opinion, I'm just gonna give this to Trackhouse. I really do think that they are onto something, because if you go back to when the team was first announced, a lot of people were saying, oh, they're gonna probably do fine within the first few races, and then they're just gonna drop, like, they're just gonna fall back, they're gonna fade into the background, they're gonna be running in last place all the time, blah. But no,
I don't know about the last place part.
No.
Yeah.
That's just an over exaggeration, but look at what they're doing. Look at what they've been doing. They've been proving everybody wrong by just blowing a lot of the finishes out of the water. And the thing is, when you're being consistent, you can't compete with other teams around you. You mainly have to compete with yourself, and you have to know the limits of the car. And that's the thing. Trackhouse, I think, has just been doing such a good job, and they've kept their eyes on the ball with competing with themselves and going out on the racetrack and just running their own race and not having to worry about other people around them. And that, I think, is how it should be done. And that new team is doing such an amazing job right now. And I cannot wait to see what position this team is going to be in heading further into the 2021 season. They've just been doing awesome.
They may not make it in there, but they will probably be close to getting in the playoffs.
They'll be getting there. They're going to get there. They just need to improve. I mean, on finishes.
Yeah.
They'll get there, though.
Yeah.
But alrighty. Let's switch over to Stewart-Haas Racing. What in the world is going on with that team? Within the first 6 races, they have not been doing all that well. You would mainly expect Harvick, of all people Harvick, to win by race 2. He has not done that. Almirola has not been having himself the best of years so far. It's kind of been up and down for him. Briscoe, everybody hyped Briscoe. Everybody thought that he was going to do super well this year. We haven't seen much of Briscoe. And then Cole Custer, a guy who has been doing so well in Xfinity throughout the previous few years, comes up the Cup, struggles a little bit, but then after that win in Kentucky, bam, he's been up there and he's actually been competing for top 5s and top 10s at times. And he still is, right now, but he hasn't really made a ton of noise. Stewart-Haas Racing altogether has not made a lot of noise. So, I'm going to ask you two. Do you think that Stewart-Haas Racing is going to be able to turn things around anytime soon?
Honestly, it won't surprise me if they did. The only Stewart-Haas car that's been actually doing decent is Kevin Harvick, the leader, of course, because he and Michael McDowell did start off the first 3 races being the only 2 with top 10 finishes.
Yeah.
They were the only 2 top 10 finishes. And then after Vegas, they both fell out and just not that good. And Harvick, who we thought was going to be a favorite, had an issue on the track. Coming out of pit road, he got a flat tire. Coming out of pit road during pace laps, he got a flat tire because the valve broke off. And then you got, like you mentioned, Cole Custer did great last year. Not doing that well so far, unlike his other rookie of the year competitors last year. Bell, and who has a win, and Reddick, who's been doing really good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 50-50. But just better than Custer. And we gotta give Briscoe a little slack. Yes, we gave him some hype, but he is still a rookie. He's still learning.
Yes.
The same thing happened with his teammate and the other 2. So, but Almirola, I don't know about him. I mean, 2018 when he was there, he was on the ball. Then when the years go down, he kept slowly fading. So, I don't know. I mean, it don't surprise me that they will get a win eventually. Harvick at least will eventually get a win. I don't know when it will be, but yeah, it's just surprising what's going on right now. What's your take, Sean?
It is how everything's been with Stewart-Haas Racing. Like Harvick, we know he would have gotten a win already, but just seeing him not have done that so far because of how the races have been, it's kind of weird not seeing that. Custer, this is his second season in Cup, so we're not going to see a lot out of him yet. Same thing with Briscoe in his rookie season. And going on Almirola, it's like the past, like he didn't do well at the 500 because he got wrecked out. And then you would expect him to have done well at some of the other tracks, but we haven't seen that yet. But if somebody's going to bring Stewart-Haas Racing back, Harvick will probably be the first person to do it.
No, most likely. Most likely. I mean, like, he's been doing really good. I mean, as far as top 10s go, but winning, though, it's almost like he's kind of taking his eye off the ball just a tad, but he still has his eyes on the ball just enough to where he's getting top 10s for the most part.
Let's be honest about Harvick for a minute. He's been here the longest out of any driver so far, as far as I know of.
Actually,
Kurt Busch.
Kurt's been on there the longest just by one start. Just by one. He beats Kevin Harvick by one start. Because
one start, but
because unlike Harvick, Kurt Busch actually did compete in the Daytona 500 back in 2001. Harvick came on the scene a week later after Dale Sr.'s passing on the last lap of the 500. So.
okay, fair point, but
Anyways.
still, Harvick, those two have been in the sport longer than any other driver, just by a season. Because Newman joined the next year later with recent retiree Jimmy Johnson.
Yes.
So they've been here the longest. We may end up seeing them. Maybe Kurt Busch, I'm still having the gut feeling he's going to go. Newman's still the same, but Harvick's been kind of slipping. I thought he was going to slip last season, but then he surprised me with 9 wins. Almost made the championship.
He surprised a lot of us with 9 wins.
You that jerk. But anyways.
But no, like, you do bring up a good point, though, because, like, one way you could tell that he kind of slipped a little bit, you go back to the Clash. He did not do well at all in the Clash.
Yeah.
And the only time you would talk about him is if he was either, like, spitting off a turn 1 or in the grass or having some issue through the bus stop or whatever it may be. He was not in contention for the Clash at all. So, I mean, it feels like that's a sign from above that I think Harvick is slipping just a little bit, but not enough for him to not grab a few top 10s. I mean...
Yeah, another driver who's been slipping a bit, it's still slipping. Yes, he won the Clash, but he's still slipping. Kyle Busch.
Yeah, Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch is another driver who should have been at least getting at least a win by now.
Yeah.
So they're both slipping, and that's making me think. Yes, I've said Kurt and Newman before, but the way it's going, maybe Harvick or surprise Kyle Busch. Because and think about this too, Stewart-Haas every single year has a driver switch out since 2016, if I remember that correctly. It's 2016.
Has to be. Yeah, because first it was Stewart that dropped out. Clint Boyer came in. Danica dropped out in 2017. Then
Almirola came in.
And then
Kurt
slipped
Busch
out,
got out.
Suarez came in. Then Suarez came out. And then Custer came in. And now Boyer's out and Briscoe's in. So
who knows? Maybe Almirola or Harvick.
I would say, I think I would leave my next driver out being Almirola.
Yeah.
I double that, or back that you get what I mean.
I really do see that because like Almirola, he's driven for mediocre teams before, and that's where he basically came from, is mediocre teams. Then he comes over to Stewart-Haas, and he does good for 2018. 2019 he did okay. Same for 2020, but this year he just really hasn't made a lot of noise. But keep in mind, it's only early in the season. We have yet to get into double digits as far as how many races that we've been into is concerned. So, I mean, you know, it might be a little early to say that Harvick's taken his eye off the ball and starts slipping. It might be a little early to say that Almirola is probably going to be the weakest link to Stewart-Haas Racing. But we're just going to have to wait and see what happens within these next 6 races, 12 races, 18, and throughout the rest of the year, and see how they do. But other than that, I'm kind of thinking that, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, retirees, Kurt Busch has teased about retirement, but we don't know if he's going anywhere. Harvick, I mean, he might retire because Delana might convince him to retire. No offense, Delana. But you know, it's kind of up in the air right now. It's too early in the season to be making these predictions.
I'll even throw this out. Maybe Almirola too.
Probably. But, okay. I think we've gone through all the topics that we need to. If you hear a child crying in the background, I'm sorry. That is one of my nieces. But anyways.
I actually cannot hear it.
Really? You can't hear it?
No.
I can't either.
Oh, really? Sometimes my mic sometimes my mic will pick up like the dogs barking at something outside, and it's just like, man, those dogs are loud. But either way, anyways, we're gonna take another commercial break, and when we come back, we're gonna be previewing the most anticipated weekend in all of motorsports so far this year, Bristol Dirt, boys. Stick around. We'll be right back. And we're back for episode 11 of the NASCAR Pit Stop Show. Elijah Leonard alongside Wyatt Walker, Sean Arnn, and guys, we made it. We made it.
Wait, well, hold on. Was that the only one that cut out a bit there?
Yeah, I heard it cut out there for a second.
You cut out for a bit.
Did I cut out?
Yeah, you cut out. Okay, where you cut out was like, and we're back. And to my right, I think you were pointing at my screen. I think you were trying to point at the top right.
Yeah,
and
top
then
right.
It just kept moving.
Jeez, wow. Okay.
Yeah, cut out right.
And we're back. And then jeez. But anyways, boys, we made it. We finally made it. We're at the most anticipated weekend in all of NASCAR so far. One of a few. It's the Bristol Dirt Weekend. So, we've got two series. We've got the Trucks and Cup. Xfinity is taking an off week. They get their break. So, coming into...
You get a 2-week break.
They get a 2-week break, really? Nice. That's good for them.
Yeah, I thought I heard that they get a 2-week break.
Yeah, they get a 2-week break.
That's nice. And wow, they get to definitely take a back seat and relax. That's good for them. Anyways, so let's talk about this Bristol Dirt Weekend. We've got a lot of drivers in here. Some Cup leeches, some of them from World of Outlaw, USAC, or just from your local dirt track. But I'm going to talk about this. Seeing as how this is going to be the inaugural weekend on the dirt track for both the Trucks and the Cup Series, what do you think we're going to have to expect coming into this weekend?
Well, I don't know if y'all watch this, but when this video comes out, it will be a couple days ago. I did watch the iRacing race, and it did say that this is what we'll expect. A lot of drivers will be riding that high lane up in the wall. Some will be trying different grooves and all that stuff. And it's going to be like I watched a lot of dirt races at the dirt track close to me, and much that I've seen drivers like go to the bottom, go to the top. It's basically what you think about the Eldora track, if you think about it. Yeah. What happens at Eldora, it's most likely going to happen at the Bristol, but it's going to be shorter, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it should be shorter by about a few point something miles, I believe. Yeah, but lap traffic might end up being a factor. And iRacing, we only had like about 20, not more than about like I don't remember how many cars. They had, I don't remember how many cars, and then only 70 laps, and it still went up being crazy. Just makes me wonder, how many cars are we going to have that's going to end up racing in both series and going to end up going... So we have 44 trucks entered for the Bristol, for the truck race. So they're probably going to have some heats and LCQs and whatnot to determine who are going to be, like, I think it was like 32 or 35 drivers that would race in the main event, I believe. I can't remember, but
again, and that's 30 something. But the iRacing, they had like a good they had like a good amount in the iRacing race, and they were still going hectic in the Cup race. So it's going to be crazy these next two races, and it's bad enough that leeches are going to be in the factor. Cup leeches, to be exact, for the Truck Series, and we're going to have some surprising drivers go up and drive for the Cup Series. Stuart Friesen, first appearance.
Makes his Cup debut. That's right.
So, you got anything to add on this, Sean, before I keep talking?
If you want to keep talking, you can keep talking.
Sean doesn't
But
know what to expect.
For me, I don't know. I know everyone's been waiting for this, and it's like, oh, this is great. First dirt race that we got in 2 decades or so.
Actually, 50 years.
Yeah.
50 years.
To half a century.
Yes.
Basically.
It's for me. I kind of have those mixed sort of feelings. Like, hey, this is cool, but it's like to me, it's like you got it on Bristol dirt. That's why I'm kind of having mixed feeling on it.
Yeah. Okay, that's totally understandable. All right. So, before we get down to predictions, I do want to go over some of the Cup leaches that we do have, and there are 7 of them reported. You got Daniel Suarez driving the 02 truck. Chase Briscoe is driving the 04. Bubba Wallace is driving the Spencer Davis truck, the 11. Kevin Harvick, as documented, would drive for Team David Gilliland Racing in the 17. Then you have Ryan Newman driving for Diversified Custom Concepts, which is basically a brand new team that opened up, and I have no idea who they are. But he's driving for them. Kyle Larson for Nice Motorsports, and then obviously everybody knows Truex driving that the 51 truck. I think actually that's pretty much all of them that are documented. But then we also have a few dirt track races as well. You got J.R. Hefner. You can throw Haley Deegan in the list too, because she has won on a dirt track before.
Well, for Haley Deegan, she's already a full-time driver. So she's already doing full-time truck series, so I wouldn't really add her to that list.
I mean,
just like
you could though. You could get away with it, but you know that is how it be, since she is full time though. But as I said, you got J.R. Hefner in there. You've got, let's see, you have, oh my gosh.
How about the biggest name so far? It's not just one Friesen, it's the other one. How about his wife?
How about this? We'll get there. We got Andrew Gordon in the 49, Jessica Friesen in the 62 truck, same team as Stewart. So that is the first husband-wife duo in Truck Series history to race in the same race for the same team at the same time. So that'll be interesting to watch. So those are all the drivers that we rarely see in the truck race. And then let's go to Cup. Let's see who we've got here. Chris Windom driving the 15 car for Rick Ware. And then let's see, who else do we got here? We got Shane Golobic in the 78. I've never heard of this guy before.
Nope.
I don't even know who's going to be driving the 66 that currently is registered as TBA. But yeah, we've got a good. This is going to be a big weekend. I mean, we do have a handful of dirt ringers in here, dirt track racers that are going to be racing. So it should be very fun nonetheless. So let's go ahead, take a look at the points that are going to be that we're going to be heading into the weekend with. So coming in, you got Wyatt Walker with 34 points. He's your points leader. Myself in second with 29. Sean Arndt third with 16. Zachary Taylor fourth with 13 points. Nathan Stapleton, Travis Crampton, Quentin Moore, Allison Rain, Ryan Kendall, all of them still have 0 points in the bag. Goose egg, nada, zilch, donut.
Nothing.
No. Zero.
But yeah, so here we go. I think if you've watched the Pit Stop Show enough, you already know the description of each of our picks. But for those that don't, we give a driver to win. Pretty self-explanatory. If they win the race, that's a point. Driver to stay away from. It's either the driver that hasn't been doing well the last couple weeks, or they're just coming up to a track that they kind of suck at. So that either way, that's a point if you get that right. And then dark horse, the driver who's been on fire for the last few weeks. Either that, or we're just coming up to a track that they're just super good at, and that's a point. But unless it's a weekend, like a special event, kind of like a bigger event, like the Coke 600, for instance, which that would be double points. Every other race is going to be just 1 point per category. And we're going to go ahead and get right on down into it. Sean Ard, you are up first.
Okay, so...
Can I mention something real quick?
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
I'm going to say this, though. Before we make our picks, you mentioned like the stay away and the dark horse. We've never been in this track at all. And we know some drivers are good, but this is going to be, I'd say, the hardest driver to pick and driver to stay away from, and dark horse for either one.
It's going to be.
That's all I wanted to say.
Well,
go ahead.
Before I make my pick, for those categories, I'm going to choose drivers that know how to race on dirt. That's where I'll go with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just to make it a little easier. But I'm going to start off, as always, in the Truck Series. And let's just start. I'm going to just start off with the stealing formats idea. I get Taylor first. So, first off, driver to stay away from. I'm going to choose Tyler Ankrum.
Ooh. Okay.
Dark horse. He's done well on dirt races before, and I believe he started on dirt racing before coming to the Truck Series. Stuart Friesen.
Okay. Yeah.
And my driver to win, I'm going to give it to Matt Crafton.
Ooh.
Crafton?
Yeah.
Isn't this the second week in a row you picked Crafton to win a race?
Yeah, I do believe so.
But he has done well on dirt before.
Yeah.
Okay, I will give you that one.
Okay. Hey, Wyatt, I'm stealing your method now.
Alright, I'm ready for you.
Okay. First off, the dark horse. I'm gonna... Yeah, gotta think.
It's hard.
Yeah, this is hard. I'm gonna surprise people with this one. Dark horse, Austin Dillon.
Ooh. Okay.
I like that. I actually do like that one.
I can get behind that. That's a good one.
Yeah, I can get behind that too. That's.
I'll just wait. I'll wait for you to get done with that.
Now go ahead. Okay, you're good.
Okay, my driver to stay away from. For the Cup Series, this is not easy to pick because there's a lot of dirt drivers in here. Ugh. Okay, dark horse. I mean, not dark horse. Driver to stay away from. Cole Custer.
Oh.
Ooh. That's a good one.
That's a very good one.
That's a really good one. I actually do like that one.
And my driver, who I think could win. This is. I'll say this one. He won the Pro Invitational. I'm gonna give it to William Byron.
Oh,
William Byron?
William Byron?
Yeah.
Wow.
I can kind of get behind that. I can kind of get
I
behind
can get
You
by.
can kind of get behind that, but
I can get
definitely
by.
not.
I can get by on your thinking. I like it.
But there might be part of you just saying, but I don't think I want to agree on that.
that. Right.
Well,
Alright, Wyatt, you're up next.
let me get my hand in the phone to get the entry list. Um,
I'm just gonna sit
This-
on back for a second.
yeah, this one's a thinker. These are really hard. You don't really know on these, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna start off pretty good. I'm not gonna pick a truck regular, but it's not a leech. My dark horse might be Stuart Friesen's wife.
Oh,
I'm going bold for this one.
that
I'm
is
going bold. I'm going for what's his name? I'm going for Jessica. What's her name? Yeah, Jessica Friesen.
Friesen.
I'm going with her for dark horse. She
Wow.
She won dirt races with her husband a lot. From what I heard, they do race about almost all the time.
Hey,
Wow.
hey,
Yeah, so
can I question on that pick? Would that be worth a point or half?
It's gonna
Yeah.
be worth a point.
Okay.
because I feel like if I picked like a cup regular, still even with this list, it'd still be half a point. But
It would be.
yeah. But that's a good pick. That's a really good pick.
yeah, the driver to stay away from. I like your thinking, but I think I might go with a I think I might go with a teammate. To be honest.
Ooh.
I think I'm gonna go with Rafael Lessard.
Oh.
I'm gonna go Rafael Lessard because here's my thinking. Like Gangrel, I think they only had at least one race on dirt, and that was Eldor. And that was Eldor, and they didn't race. I think I don't remember off the top of my head, but both drivers have not done that. So I like yours on the Ankrum, and I'll follow up by going for a teammate.
That's a good pick.
My driver to win. This one's tough because I hate to break it to you, but it's most likely going to be a leech. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But I'm not picking a leech.
Probably a leech that actually does know to race on dirt. Take Kyle Larson.
Yeah.
Newman, for instance.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was just about to say that. But that's not who I pick.
Yeah.
You know what? I know I'm going to go for it, but just for the laughs and everything, I'm going with your dark horse. I'm going with Stuart Friesen.
Oh. you know what? I can't deny that you would go for someone like that because
Stuart Friesen did win the last Eldora race.
and I was thinking, didn't he do dirt racing before coming to NASCAR?
That's
Yes.
right, he did. And Eldora was his first ever win, just like a lot of these drivers, even Cup drivers. Christopher Bell's first truck win was at Eldora.
Yep.
So you got a couple of good ones. Now for the Cup Series. I've been thinking about this a lot, and I am 100% backing you up on your dark horse. I was thinking about this before. I was trying to make it a funny surprise, but you actually thought the same thing. I'm going Austin Dillon. I was thinking about picking him before. He was going to be main one. Of course, the main two everyone's going to pick is like Larson and Bell, but Dillon, he won one of those little, I forgot what car it was, but he won one of those little dirt cars at the Bristol track not that long ago. So,
And didn't he also win an Eldora race before?
Yes.
he did win an Eldora race. Most of the drivers that are racing in the race has won at Eldora before in the truck series.
Hold on.
All right. And here's another reason I am doing another teammate agreement with him. Me and him are on the same page somehow. I don't know how me and Sean are on the same page, basically. But I'm going for another teammate of what his stay-away driver is. I'm going to go Kevin Harvick.
Oh.
I don't know how Kevin Harvick does on dirt. I'm not sure he does all that well. As long as we got all the other drivers here, I don't see Harvick getting it. I honestly do not see Kevin Harvick getting it.
He doesn't like racing on dirt anyway, so I kind of understand.
Yeah, so he don't like racing on dirt, but he's driving in the truck series.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even know how to comment on that.
It's alright. Nobody knows
But
either.
it's fine. But the driver to win, let's be honest, it's going to come. It might come between two drivers. It's a hard decision. I believe I know who the actual winner is going to be, but I'm a fan. I gotta pick him. I'm going Christopher Bell. I'm going Christopher Bell. I already have a gut feeling who yours is going to be. Yours is going to be the other driver. I already know he's probably going to win, but I gotta root for my boy, so I'm going Christopher Bell.
You gotta root for your Okie boy, yeah, I do.
I gotta root for my Okie bro.
I do.
Gotta root for him.
Alright, so here we go for my predictions to the Bristol weekend, and I'm gonna say for my driver to win. This is actually gonna be very tough, but I am gonna choose.
Once back.
He is back.
Yep.
But I am gonna choose.
Sorry.
I am going to choose. I think I'm going to choose Stu Friesen as my driver to win. Because I feel like that's probably the best pick for a driver to win, as far as that goes. Driver to stay away from. Man, this is also kind of tough. This is very, very difficult to choose from. But if I have to say, my driver to stay away from. This is actually really tough. I'm probably gonna have to say Derek Kraus is my driver to stay away from.
Ooh, Derek Kraus. Derek Kraus is good on dirt, though.
Yeah.
Never mind, scratch that. Don't even worry about me choosing Derek Kraus.
You know what? We shouldn't have said anything. We should just let him get it and just let him not get away.
Yeah, we should have been quiet.
I think I'm gonna change that. So scratch. So future me, take Derek Kraus' name off.
No, keep it. Keep it.
Take it off. No,
keep it.
Take it off, future me. I'm gonna say for my official driver to stay away from. Ha! I caught you. Driver to stay away from. I'm gonna say Ryan Truex is my driver to stay away from.
That's not a bad one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, my dark horse. Ooh, this is actually going to be pretty difficult because I'm looking at some other names and I'm thinking they're not too bad on dirt. But I'm going to say, I think this stage is going to be their time to finally shine. I'm choosing Haley Deegan as my dark horse.
I was actually thinking about Haley.
How did you know that was going to happen, Sean? You tell me.
Because it's a dirt track. We know she can do well on dirt.
Well,
Haley Deegan won her first ever race.
Hey.
First
of all, Sean, I could have said Sheldon Creed.
Well,
I could have even said somebody like.
You could have went with my guess and say Jessica Friesen.
I could have even said Jessica Friesen. I could have even said somebody like Matt Crafton. I could have said like Ryan Newman, but I know that wouldn't give me a full point.
Yeah, because you want full points to catch up to Wyatt.
We all want full points.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
But I do like that about Haley Deegan. Haley Deegan did win her first K&N race on the dirt. I think
Actually,
that is a good pick.
that was her first race of the year in 2019 on dirt.
But we know that
Yeah, but she is really good on dirt though.
She is.
She won her first race of 2019 on dirt, and both of the dirt races in the ARCA Menard series. I think she finished second both times. So she's really good on dirt. She has shown that before, and I think she's going to show it in the trucks race. But it won't be an easy task, obviously.
Yeah,
because
it won't.
Trucks is way more competitive than ARCA is, so she is going to have her hands full, definitely for sure.
100%.
And K&N was also pretty competitive for her too, not ruling that out whatsoever.
But K&N wasn't a lot of competitive.
But there weren't as many competitors, but it was still competition. There was still it was decently rough. For what it was, competition was okay. It was good.
Well, yeah, and it's better than ARCA.
Much better than ARCA. Agreed. So now switching gears to the Cup Series, and there are a handful of drivers that could do well. I mean, that I could pick as a driver to win, but at the same time, I'm not sure. But I'm going to say for my driver to win, ooh. You know what?
I have a gut feeling.
I have a feeling you might be right on this gut feeling. Man, because like it's very split. It is very split between three drivers.
Three?
Three, yeah.
Who's the third?
I'll tell you in a second. But you know what? I think I'm gonna vouch for you, Wyatt. I'm gonna say Christopher Bell's gonna be my driver to win.
Really? You're agreeing with me?
I'm gonna vouch for you on that one.
I swore I thought you were going to pick Larson.
My driver to stay away from, on the other hand. Ooh, this is actually gonna be very tough because
these pits are the toughest ones we got.
These are,
Yeah.
like I said before you made your picks. These are the hardest ones out of any race. And we're going to go to Coda in like a couple months now.
Yeah.
And these are going to be easy. These are going to be harder than the Coda picks. To be honest here.
These are the hardest pits we're gonna probably get all season.
Probably.
My driver to stay away from. So I'm torn on this one, but I'm gonna say for my driver to stay away from, I'm just gonna have to say Kyle Busch is my driver to stay away from.
I was thinking about Kyle Busch. That's actually not a bad one.
Because first of all, just because did he do well in the Pro Invitational? Did he do well?
No.
No, but he has done well in the past on dirt.
Okay, but the thing is though.
But that's the pass.
That's also virtual as well.
Well,
it doesn't because the thing is, I'm talking more recently. If he didn't do well in the Pro Invitational race at the Bristol Dirt, he may not. That performance that he probably had, that was kind of like decent to mediocre to not really, is probably going to carry into the Cup race.
I agree.
Well, let me say this here. Kyle Busch has done dirt races back in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think he's been doing a whole lot of dirt racing. Besides going to Bristol, he hasn't done recently. Yeah. His son has been doing more dirt races than Kyle Busch. He's got more wins than both Busch brothers in last year's Cup Series combined on the dirt.
And yeah, exactly.
Which everyone says like, hey Kyle, your son's doing better than you.
And the thing is, like, Kyle Busch has won on dirt before. That was Eldora. That was when they were doing like the dream thing, the dream race at Eldora, which I don't think anybody really remembers. But that win however, came in 2008. 2008.
Yeah.
Things have changed a lot between now and 13 years later. With Kyle Busch's performance, he's gotten good, he has reached his peak, but then all of a sudden the 2020s come around and he's kind of went and cut.
That's basically why I picked Harvick for my stay away driver.
Yeah.
For that reason.
Yeah. I'm just
Also,
I'm still thinking Kyle's gonna be my driver.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
My dark horse, however, I'm gonna choose the other Kyle. Kyle Larson's my dark horse.
Yeah.
Who's one of your?
Who's the third one?
It was Chase Briscoe.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Briscoe.
Yeah.
I forgot about Briscoe. He is going to be a competitor.
I forgot about Briscoe because I think he was also good on dirt as well.
He is good on dirt. He beat out Ed Finger back in, what was that, 18?
Yeah,
was
that was 2018.
It was 18. He drove, I forgot what number he drove.
27.
He drove to 27. That's when he drove 27 and won.
Yeah, and he wasn't competing full time.
Oh, gee.
So yeah, he is good. I did forget about Briscoe.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Briscoe does well, that's gonna come back and get all of us.
Briscoe is going to do good, man. It's
will.
no surprise he's going to do.
Well,
do good.
If Briscoe wins, that's gonna come back and get all of us.
He's going to be the only Stewart-Haas driver that's actually going to do good. Let's be honest here. Do we think Eric Almirola is going to do good either?
Probably not.
Two of us has already said two Stewart-Haas cars are going to be drivers stay away. Let's be honest. I think if you would have followed this, if you followed the suit, you would have gone Almirola, and Briscoe's going to go past all of them. Let's be honest here.
Exactly.
Yeah. I kind of see where y'all going with that because
Yeah. But alrighty. So guys, any final thoughts before we sign off for the week?
This is like we've been saying. This is going to be the craziest race we've seen so far. The heat races are going to be nuts. I'm most likely going to try and check out all the practices, all the qualifying, all that I can, because this is going to be the best. Well, I think it's going to be one of the best races that are being hyped.
Mm-hmm.
If this is a letdown, I will have this be a low grade coming to. If it's a big letdown.
Hey, if it's a letdown, I hope that we get some raging on the next episode that we do. I don't know if we'll do it next week or in a couple of weeks.
No, we'll most likely do it next week because isn't
Yeah.
What's next week? Martin's?
No, because
No,
Easter's coming up. Easter's coming up.
It's a week break? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, because Easter is coming up, so there won't be any pit stop show for next week.
Okay.
So
we'll take a week off.
Yeah. But alrighty, that's gonna do it for episode 11 of the NASCAR Pit Stop Show. Want to thank you guys a lot for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a like. If you have not considered subscribing yet, recommend you do so to keep up with some fine content coming out in the near future. And that about does it for me. On behalf of Wyatt Walker and Sean Arndt, I'm Elijah Leonard, and we'll see you in the next one.